We're given some data for quantity and profit, and assuming that it's a polynomial function of degree 2, so a parabola, find the best fitting curve. So we need to model this. Let's get it input into Excel and insert a chart. Since we need to do a trend line, you'll want this separate scatter plot points. And I can imagine the vertex somewhere in there. So let's get a trend line. Polynomial of order 2. Display the equation on the chart. Now the first coefficient only has 3 decimal places, and these have 2. Actually, it has 4 because leading 0. While I'm thinking about it, and just to make sure, I'd rather be more accurate than get marked wrong. Let's format the trendline label, go to the 3 bars, change the category from general to number, and bump the decimal places up to 5. Copy and paste in our formula. Update what we need to. So x, yes, squared times x. Okay. Plot the function and the marginal on the same graph. Use values for the quantity that are large enough to show the vertex. So over here we have our model, and it looks like the vertex is somewhere around 150. I'm going to go ahead and take my quantity values up to about 200. So value for Q, and then my profit function will go 0, 5, I think, 0. Count by 5s up to 200. There you go. Copy and paste that in. 0.29. I need a time sign. Take out the x and get the quantity. Take out the x and get the quantity. Okay, the quantity was an x. Copy that down. That's the profit at x items. Now I want to get to the marginal, so I need to know what happens at x plus 1 items. This might be a good time to show you a little shortcut for pasting in some of this x plus 1 stuff. And that is we're going to insert, shift to the right is fine. I want to do x plus 1 and just set up a column. So x plus 1 will equal whatever x was, add 1, and then copy that down so that on any row it's taking the previous cell to the left and adding 1 to it. Then my profit will reflect back to the x column. And then if I copy this over, the relative reference means that instead of referring to the x column, it's referring to the x plus 1 column. So this is now profit x plus 1. Okay, now to graph it, choose the x column, hold down the control key. Oh, I haven't done the marginal yet. Excuse me. Marginal profit. It's going to be the profit for the x plus first term. Take away the profit for the x term. Select my x column. Hold down the control key, select my profit column. And then you need to lift up on the control key so that you can get back to the top, and then select my marginal profit and graph. That looks the most like graph number 1, which is C. From the shape of the graph, what kind of graph does it appear to be? Well, let me select it and format the data series, go to a secondary axis. Now I can see that it's a downward sloping line. So a downward opening parabola will have a marginal that's a downward sloping line.